Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
May I ask you all to turn on your cameras? Today is the big day to think of how far-flung we have come and how far we have to go. Along with this multifarious struggles and triumph, there is much more to thrive and much more to show. Let's rejoice this majestic journey this establishment had up to now. Let's raise our toast to make it even better. Let's take a vote. A warm good afternoon to all of you present here. My name is Gargi and I will be your host till the end of the show. I welcome our honored judges, Mr. Javed and Ms. Archana, and all our treasured invitees, revered teachers, and of course, our starling participants and students. How lovely this day, so does the ambience and aura of it. Soon the color of merriment will unfold and will transport us to another world. Today, we are having brilliant students who will be competing in declamation competition and share their views about the given title and bring out their hidden aptitude. The criteria for the judgment will be content, expression, pronunciation, voice modulation, presentation, and confidence. Some of the instructions that students need to follow: first, they need to be in school uniform. Second, all the participants will keep themselves mute until they are asked to unmute by the host or by the judge. Parents are requested not to interfere when competition is in progress, and the maximum time for each speaker is 3 minutes. A good teacher will appreciate good qualities of his students. If one quality is allowed to emerge, a world of good qualities will emerge from that one. Our students have brilliant qualities and talents to show to you. Without waiting, put our hands together for Purvi Khandelwal of grade 8A to present her views. Purvi, you may start. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. A very warm welcome to all of you present here. Today, I, Purvi Khandelwal of grade 8A, has come up to share my views on the given topic, the future we want, the United Nations we need. What kind of future do we really need? During 1945, the answer of this question would have been completely different as for today. Today, we will talk about removing gender discrimination, poverty, and racism. But at that time, conditions were totally different. World War II just ended. Every country was shaken and all economically down. At that time, to maintain the international peace and security, to develop the friendly relations among nations, and to help countries socially progress, an organization was formed by 51 countries, which is known as United Nations. Today, it is trying to improve the quality of life for the people of this world. The United Nations Sustainable Development started its goals in 2015. Till then, many things were changed, like expansion of access to the sources like electricity and water, representation of women in government. But then, the most important thing, aspects of government, that is eradicating poverty, is still very far away from the stage of completion. The greatest global challenge facing the world has been an essential requirement for sustainable development. To improve the quality of work done, the United Nations Development System should improve its focus and implementing the SDG goals within the existing budgets. The organization must also improve its coherence among the development and human welfare assistance to respond more effectively, to last longer, and recurrent crisis and enhance emergency prevention. The world has now more forcibly displaced people at a time where, since Second World War, two-thirds of the earth has displaced people, not refugees, but rather internally displaced people, within their own national borders. The United Nations should sharpen and focus in this group, solving their issues, fulfill their basic needs and rights, and yes, give them a shelter if possible. Some new committees should be formed to look after them separately so that they could get more time and the action will be implemented more effectively. With that, I end my speech humbly and thank you to all of you to be here and listen to my words. Thank you.
Wow, Purvi, your words are treasure to store. Your performance was amazing. With this, let's call a second participant, Anugrah Nigam of 8B. Anugrah, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Good
all the
afternoon,
best. You may
good
start
afternoon,
now.
everyone. Myself, Anugrah Nigam, and I am here to tell you about something about UN, means United Nations, held under the banner "We Future We Want, UN We Need." In January 2020, the United Nations launched the global consultation to mark its 75th anniversary. Through surveys and dialogues, it asked people about their hopes and fears for the future, representing the UN's most ambitious effort to date to understand expectations of international cooperation and of the UN in particular. It is also the largest survey to date on priorities for recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. As of 21 September, over 1 million people from all countries and all walks of life had taken part. Their answers provide unique insights into what the public wants. At this challenging time for the world, they are released today to coincide with the UN General Assembly's official commemoration of the 75th anniversary held under the banner "The Future We Want, the UN We Need." Justice to equality, freedom, global economy, healthcare, sanitation, and education for all. We just need that. We are changing by big changes. If we stop the destruction of our natural world, our wildlife, we are changed. We want some political view to see these diversity and discrimination among the world, some increased efforts to reduce conflicts and violence. We are aspired to further protect human rights. The overwhelming majority of us is leading global cooperation more vital than ever to wrap our history. We have accomplished to global things. There is no limit to think initiative together for the world, our world, to make it a better place. In 2045, the UN will be of 100 years. Let's see the change we have implemented together today. The shining light, wildlife, economy, education, healthcare, the world, our world. Change is coming. The real power belongs to people. When the people understood that power, the future we want, we will get. Thank you, ma'am.
Wow, what a splendid performance. With this, let's call our third participant from grade 9A, 9B, Riddhi. All the best, Riddhi. You may start now.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, my throat is paining, so my voice would not be so clear. But I would
Okay.
try my best.
Okay, let's hear you out. You try. All
Okay,
the
ma'am.
best.
Thank you, ma'am. So, first of all, good afternoon to everyone present here, and I'm thanking each and every teacher for giving such a good opportunity to me. So now I would start my speech. So, the United Nations is an international organization which was founded in 1945 after the Second World War by 51 countries committed to maintaining international peace and security, developing friendly relations among nations, and promoting social progress and human rights. The United Nations has celebrated its 75th anniversary last September 21 with the theme of "The Future We Want, the United Nations We Need." The I'm sorry. reaffirming our collective commitment to multilateralism. Multilateralism is a concept that scholars have long been studying in international relations. We reaffirm that we continue to be guided by the purposes and principles of the Charter of the United Nations. with full respect and with full respect with the with full respect for the international laws and principles. Thank you. I have ended my speech.
Well, Riddhi, it was amazing. It was good. You were quite, just hold a second. You were truly amazing by your words. With this, let's call our fourth participant, Aditya Negi of 9th A. All the best, Aditya.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Aditya Negi, and I am from class 9A. And the topic for today is the future we want and the UN we need. 76 years ago, the world leaders did something extraordinary. They created the United Nations, born from the ashes of war, and the UN is often romanticized as the product of global idealism. Even before COVID-19, that turned our lives upside down, the UN did not want its 75th anniversary to be treated as a celebration. In January 2020, launched UN 75. It was a concentration. It was an organization of how to close gap between the future we want and 17 sustainable development goals. And 17 sustainable development goals headed if current trend, and the vision was in the all settings to close the gap in future and to close the gap and the increase the trust in the government and the border and the generations. And together these different strands represent the UN most ambitious efforts to crowdsource priorities and solutions, providing unique insights in the future we want and the UN we need. What does the world want? In a world that is increasingly polarized, perhaps feel increasingly polarized, and the most striking finding it's emerged how much we have in common. Amidst the current crisis, the immediate priority for most people, together rich or developing countries, access to basic services like healthcare, education, and safe water. We also want to see more international solidarity and support given to those hardest hit, from tackling poverty and inequalities to boosting employments. Looking for future, their overwhelming concern is our inability to seem the climate crisis and reduce the destruction due to natural environment. And now we are seeing the first rise in the global poverty and the 2 decades and the first drop in the human development, life expectancy, health, and education. Since 1990, the global hunger is increasing in South America. Over 17.1 million people are severely food insecure, and with 4.5 million people months ago, the pandemic has shown up huge transformation are possible and vast sums of money can be developed quickly. We can turn this crisis into an opportunity and by taking decision, and now that takes us on the brighter future, brighter, fairer, and more sustainable future. Thank you.
Wow, that was deep. What a marvelous performance, Aditya. With this, let's call our next participant, Mahi of 10th B. Are you ready, Mahi?
Yes, ma'am. Good
All the
afternoon,
very good.
everyone. More than ever before in human history, we share a common destiny. We can master it only if we face it together. And that is why we have the United Nations. Starting with these words of Mr. Kofi Annan, former General Secretary of the United Nations, I, Mahi, of grade 10th B, is here to speak on the topic, the future we want, the UN we need. The United Nations organization started its journey with 51 member states on 24th October 1945 to presently 193 member states with the motto of peace, dignity, and equality on a healthy planet. The United Nations is a truly universal global organization whose major objectives are maintaining peace and security, developing friendly relations among countries based on the principles of equal rights. It also works for combating terrorism, economic development and its reforms, promoting human rights, etc. The UN has a proud record of helping millions of people worldwide. It is the foremost forum to address issues that transcend the national boundaries and can't be resolved by any one country acting alone. The UN provides various medical and health researches and also helps in various medical and supplying medicines and vaccines all through the world. Recently, the UN is coordinating the COVID-19 vaccination efforts worldwide. It raises global funds to fight against diseases such as tuberculosis, AIDS, malaria, etc. Efforts of the UN to provide education to developing nations have not gone without notice. It also addresses some of the serious earth-related issues such as environmental change, global warming, ozone layer depletion, climate change, etc. Over 300 international treaties have been created through the UN to strengthen international laws. In 75 years of its existence, the UN and its related agencies have been awarded the prestigious Nobel Peace Prize 12 times. The UN has been in effect for more than over 75 years. But now, it has been debated whether is it effective anymore. The UN has been criticized for its failure and lack of involvement in major conflicts and disputes by its developed member states, like in Syria, Iraq, and recently in the Taliban issue. The UN must be with the policies to reflect the present-day world. No country must be placed above the law. Human rights must not be violated by any country in any case. There are millions of people worldwide who are looking to the UN for the protection of the violation of their rights. The UN plays a significant role to achieve global cooperation to solve international, global, cultural, social, economic, and humanitarian issues that we would not recognize our world today and tomorrow without the UN's pervasive role in it. Thank you.
Wow, what a confidence. Your confidence has outshined your whole performance. I'm quite impressed. With this, I want to say, never let the fear of striking out stop you from playing the game. With this, next caller, next participant, Pan Kishore Goyal from grade. Pan Kishore, your section is?
Ma'am, 10C.
Okay, from 10C. All the best, Pan Kishore. You may start now.
Thank you. Thank you. A very warm good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Pan Kishore Goyal from grade 10C. And now, you all have must know that me and my schoolmates are here to know you about the future we want, the UN we need. I won't bore you by telling the formal and the other details about the UN that it has launched its
No issue, you may start again if you want.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, may I start it again?
Yeah, you can start again, not an issue. It happens.
Yes, ma'am. A very warm good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Pankishore Goyal from grade 10C. And by now, you all must have known that me and my fellow schoolmates are here to let you know about the UN we want and the future we need from it. And now, I won't bore you with the formal and the other details about that UN has launched its global consultation to remark its 76th anniversary and also by recovering on the more priorities from this COVID-19 pandemic. It is very clear that I feel, you feel, even we all feel. We could do better, we should do better. And as a son, as a student, and as a friend, I faced many difficulties during this COVID time pandemic. And also, this had ruined many businesses, many lives, and also whatnot. But as an individual and a proud citizen of my democratic nation, I request UN to please do some improving access in the facilities such as healthcare, the water facilities, the sanitation, and the education, which will help in the more further development of the country and rebuild the economy. For the larger picture, there is more on the plate for the UN. That just look at the conditions of the Syria and the Palestine nations. And why should I go so far? Just look at the conditions of the Jammu and the Kashmir, as the conditions are being daily up and the down, as we can see. And from my birth, I can't see even any changes there. And also, it's a high time for the UN to just look after it for the development of the country and for the betterment of a political system. And even it's not the fight of the nations, but it is also the fight of the without weapons. As we can say about the climate changes, the pollution is increasing at a very high level and it can't be treated with the prevention methods also. And also I request you to support the UN. Let us all come together and to support the UN and to support the motto also. And with the depth, I only say the UN to please survey for some more and educate the common people that what it has done. And at last, but not the least, I only say to all that please look after it and do better for your country and support the UN. This is me, Pankishore Goyal, signing in off. Thank you.
You were quite smooth, Pankishore. Your speech was totally amazing. You gave marvelous performance. It was great. With this, let's call our next participant, Anushka of 10th B. All the best, Anushka.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. I am Anushka Rana, a student of class 10th B, present here to speak few words about the United Nations organization. The United Nations is an intergovernmental organization established on 24th October 1945. During the Second World War, the need for an agency that could act as a successor to the League of Nations was felt. And so the United Nations Charter was drafted by the delegates of 51 nations at a conference at San Francisco in June 1945. This charter came into effect on 24 October 1945, and the UN began with its operations with its headquarters at New York, USA. In the beginning, there were only 51, but now the number of member nations has risen to 193. The main objectives of the UNO are to maintain the international peace and security, to develop friendly relations among the nations, to encourage the international cooperation in the sphere of social, economic, and cultural development, to recognize the fundamental rights of all the people. The membership of this world body is open to all the peace-loving countries that believe in its aims and objectives. Nations who want to be a part of it can can become members by a resolution adopted by the General Assembly and on the recommendation of the Security Council. Uh, Similarly, the suspension or removal of a state follows the same procedure. The UNO has 6 organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, the International Court of Justice, the Trustee Council, the Trusteeship Council, the Economic and Social Council, and the Secretariat. The General Assembly meets once in a year to supervise and criticize the works of the UN. The Security Council is the executive organ of the UNO, which consists of 5 permanent members that are England, France, the USA, the former USSR, and China. The Economic and Social Council consists of 18 members who look after the world's social, economic, cultural, health, and other such matters. The Trusteeship Council is responsible for the supervision and administration of the trust territories placed under its jurisdiction. The International Court of Justice consists of 15 judges who were elected by the Security Council and the General Assembly for a term of 9 years. The Secretariat headed by the Secretary General, is responsible for the smooth functioning of all the departments of the organization. In order to achieve its goals, the UNO has done marvelous jobs, as when the Indo-Pak crisis reached the point of war in Kashmir in 1947 and when Pakistan attacked India in 1965 and 1971. The UNO intervened and acted as the impartial umpire to restore peace in Kashmir. Unlike the League of Nations, it has succeeded in keeping the world away from another world war, and this one is the biggest achievement of UN. Although it might not be successful in satisfying all the countries of the world to obtain collective security, it's still trying to do a lot for the mankind. With this, I would like to end up with my words. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, you were superb with your words. What a marvelous performance. With this, let's call our last participant, Shawiz Alam of grade 9C. All the best, Shawiz. You may start now.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, good afternoon to dear ma'am and all my participants. Myself Shawiz Alam from grade 9C. As we know that we are here in the second round of declamation competition to declare our speech on topic Future We Want and UN We Need. The United Nations Secretary General announced UN 75 project not as a celebration but as a dialogue but as one of the greatest dialogue on the current global concerns and discuss the gap between what we want and where we are if pretense continue. UN 75, according to Secretary General, is the chance for UN as it serves people and identify their priorities and propose solutions for the current global concerns and for improved global collaboration. UN 75 aims better understand people aspiration and needs for a good future by informal and official surveys. It also resulting in a better and more sustainable society for everyone. The exercise was designed to stock the global concerns and obtain comments throughout the world on what kind of global collaboration is necessary through official and informal surveys held throughout the globe. It was also meant to reimagine what the role of United Nations may play in addressing the global concerns. Following the pandemic, which made in-person gathering difficult in many areas of the world, the project boosted efforts to take discussions online when practicable. At the same time, it focused greater attention and resources on finding out individuals who do not have internet access. Working with UN offices and other partners at the ground, as well as communicating through phone and SMS, it was able to conduct the broadest and most diversified worldwide poll on post-COVID priorities by adding questions on how to recover the pandemic better. Over 1 million individuals have completed the 1 minute survey and in all UN member and observer states. Over 1,000 discussions were held in 82 countries. In addition, Edelman and Pew Research Centers performed independent polls on 50,000 people in 50 countries. And artificial intelligence analysis of social and political media was also taken in 70 countries, as well as academic and policy research. All have been mapped. This represents the UN's most ambitious endeavor to conduct the worldwide reality check and hear from we the peoples, about their priorities and propose solution to global concern and giving unique insight into the future we desire and UN we want. Thank you.
Wow, what a fantastic performance, Shawiz. Okay, students, let me tell you, our program is not over yet. One of our participants, Gurman, has joined us late because of the connectivity issue. So let's hear him out. So Gurman, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All the very best, Gurman. You may start now.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon. My name is Gurman Singh from class 8A. Today my topic is the future we want, the UN we need. Is survival and growth are possible in isolation? Can we ever truly flourish at the cost of million others? I believe not. The United Million and international organization formed to ensure peace and order in the world has involved to cooperation and no competition as its principle. Its aim to achieve zero poverty, zero hunger, quality education, and gender equality. climate action across the world. Guys, I know all these sounds were very pleasing to the ear, but we all are well aware there has been widespread failure to enforce environmental protection law. Inequality is on rise. Women are subjected to exhausted and discrimination on daily basis. To add to misery and underprivileged, it has been projected that 100 million COVID-19 vaccines stockpiled by rich nations are set to expire by the year end, while poor nations are refused to access doses. How on earth makes sense is this future we envision for our coming generation? Is if so, then I believe we are degrading society. Is time for into talk and is to talk and to work to implement the law on ground to fix imbalance in the United Nations Security Council to expand its representation. This is how we want UN to be. Thank you.
Wow, what an outstanding performance, Gurman. You were superb. With this, I want to say you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So your presence made this day a memorable day. Thank you for listening, for inspiration, for encouragement, for being here, and most importantly, for giving your time and making your presence. With this, I would like our judge, Mr. Javed, to address our students with his golden words. Sir, you need to unmute your device.
I hope you all can hear me. So good afternoon, dear speakers. Well, I would not call you contestants because you all are the future speakers, and especially of this Mount Litera School. Well, the way you all have put the facts and presented your opinion was really commendable. In fact, listening to you was really a marvelous journey for me. Since the beginning till the ending of the declamation competition was really a successful one. So first of all, I would give you a big round of applause for every speaker. And it is said that you all time you need to prove. So these competitions time by time are for you to present your views. You can only acquire it. This is, yes, of course, once again, it is commendable. There is one phrase that leave no stone unturned. And you all have proved that, yes, you are not leaving any stone unturned. You are proving it, you are spreading it. So once again, thank you to
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words. With this, we conclude our today's program. So I would like to say a thank you to all of you. You are a wonderful audience, and we hope that we have enjoyed the show equally. Once again, thanks to the hard work that all team members have done, teachers, students, organizers, and every team member to make this possible. And what you witnessed was really their efforts and hard work. Thank you all. With this, you may leave now. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a great day.